Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Dhany Prasetyo and Pak Irawan Jodarwanto. We present paper review of Technology Commercialization Practice in APEC Economies. This is the handbook produced by APEC Academy of International Innovation and Strategy in APEC Policy Partnership on Science, Technology, and Innovation on July 2018. Next slide, Pak Irawan.
Thank you, Pak Dio. We continue the discussion from the previous group about innovation model, innovation ecosystem, intellectual property, overview of technology commercialization. Review paper with topic public sector technology commercialization, innovation entrepreneurship, information system and digital future, worldwide cross-border and desertification in APEC region. Education in innovation and technology commercialization. Next, we will try to make a summary of this review. Next will be continued by you.
Okay, the next slide is about public sector technology commercialization. Especially, we will discuss on invention disclosure. As we know, the cycle of innovation, as we see in this slide, is based on Stanford University. It consists of invention disclosure, assessment, IP protection, marketing, selecting a licensee, licensing, commercialization, royalty. So the first step to get the commercialization is to fill out the invention disclosure. In this form, we might have to fill the data about the general purpose of the invention, technical description of invention, advantage of improvements, possible variation on modification, novelty and close related patents. The next phase is screening and assessment. In this screening phase, we identify the commercialization opportunities and challenges, intellectual property strength, market attractiveness, level of development, ease of implementation, and timing. In this phase of screening, we might have to filing a patent application. And then after screening, we do the assessment, identify how an invention may meet marketplace needs, confidentially gathers direct industry feedback, including insights on strength, weakness, further development needs, and market trends from relevant companies. The next phase is intellectual property protection or IP protection. In majority of cases, patenting will be preferred method of protection. Other commonly used forms of intellectual property protection include copyright and trademark. Unique biological materials and software can often be successfully licensed without formal intellectual property protection. In this step, on the IP protection, the proposed, we may use experienced patent attorney to assist and will help review the invention disclosure, clarify the novelty of the invention, and work with the inventors to claim to be filed in the application. And lastly, it helps to identify any patents related to the technology filed by companies. The next phase will be marketing. Before we do the marketing phase, we need to have the value proposition. Value proposition is a positioning statement that explains what benefit is provided for whom and how the opportunity is unique. After to get the value proposition, then we do the market research and valuation method. In market research, it includes the strength of the technology and any identified weaknesses, patent IP assessment, improve valuation of technology, identify the preferred commercialization strategy for licensing and or startup, timelines and costs for next steps, including any identified development. And then we do also the valuation method. This valuation method is based on three categories: cost-based, market-based, and income-based. The next step is selecting a licensee, licensing and commercialization, especially startups. Selecting a licensee, there are many factors to decide, may include a smaller company may have lower market share and be hungry to grow. And then which company has R&D facilities that we might think it's good for the inventors, previous dealing with the company that have been positive, known contacts or alumni in decision-making position within the company, location of the company, and confidential inquiries to check reputation of the company. In this slide and this handbook also share about the lean startup ecosystem, which include the pre-startup formation and post-startup formation. And then in this handbook also share about how the Georgia Institute of Technology employ the accelerator program, that is identify, invent, and implement phases, and also use the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stages prior for project launch. The next slide will be presented by Irawan.
Thank you, Patio. Information system and digital future. Digital platforms have become something very important in business growth and development. Companies that have adopted a digital system will be able to survive in business competition compared to companies that lag behind in digital technology. The result of study show that the digital excellence is not just about spending costs, but how to change people within the company to be able to adopt the technology and create value. Next one. Okay. Digital divide, connectivity, and one-line platform technology for technology commercialization. One of the online platform, for example, is Incentive. What is Incentive doing? Provide innovative crowdsourced solution to business, social, policy, scientific, or technical issue by connecting companies, non-profit organizations with talented freelancers to collaborate on large projects. The lack of digital infrastructure creates a digital gap between developed and less developed regions. Is it important for the government to provide infrastructure and improve internet access and digital education system? An increase in the use of cellular phones, computer, and fixed line telephone by 1% will lead on to an increase in the average income per person in developing, lower middle income, and low income countries. Developing countries face challenges when exploiting the potential of ICT for economic development, so policies with international support are needed. Next part. The sharing economy is an economic model in which one can gain or provide or share access to goods and services using community-based online platform, business-specific data, and algorithm. Companies not only new ways of thinking or new services, but ways of using data effectively, deliver services when and where they want them. Example, Uber and Airbnb. Next part. Worldwide cross-border and desertification in APEC region. The idea of increasing APEC connectivity, the APEC economy can help each other in the application of new technology by utilizing the resources of technology commercialization. The point is, connectivity is important to APEC. Connecting APEC's developed and developing growth center so that the quality of regional growth increases, contribute to the prosperity and resilience of the Asia Pacific economy. Some, some key concept. Number one is public-private partnership. Number two, improvement of ICT. Number three, connectivity policy reform and strategies. Number four, science, technology, and innovation exchange. And the last, private sector capacity development and collaboration. Next part. So we discussed about education in innovation and technology commercialization. The problem is the program has not yet researched the real condition and practical interaction, not the daily practice of industry communication. So the solution is education or training that involve a participant with industry representative for projects with tangible result. Public sector technology commercialization, education, and training. Technology training through the Technology Commercialization Organization for TTP, Technology Transfer Professional Development. Let's say IP protection strategies, basic of licensing, advancing licensing, startups, marketing strategies, increase industry engagement. That's the last. Please continue, Pak Yu.
And the last slide will be our summary and feedback. So the key summary of this handbook review and what we have learned from the handbook. Firstly, public sector technology commercialization or TechCom practices in APEC region is consists of following process. So it might be research, invention disclosure, assessment, IP protection, marketing, licensing, commercialization, and royalties. Secondly, establishing startup companies based on advanced technology is an effective approach of technology commercialization in both the private and public sectors. Thirdly, digital leader is not just about spending money. It's about transforming the people within the company to adopt technology and create value. And then our feedback for this review, firstly, is best practice in Indonesia should be also considered, since Indonesia is one of the largest growing startups in the APEC region. Secondly, more elaboration on industry-sponsored research funding might be beneficial for universities and institutes. Realize the importance of industry to public sector research interaction and how important they are in developing economies, innovation ecosystem, and innovative capacity. That's all our review. Thank you for your participation and attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih Bapak dan Ibu.